Hey everyone, good evening guys. Good evening everyone. Hi Gansham. Hi Fahad. Hi. I can see the chat is super active and almost 700 people have joined. It's great to see so many of people. Uh, yes, the session will be on YouTube only. You don't need to go anywhere else. Hi, guys. Can I get to know that am I audible and visible to you all clearly, please? Hi Kalusa. Hi Shubham. Good evening, guys. Audible? Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the confirmation. So yeah, thank you guys again for joining. And today, as we all know, that we are starting with the SQL bootcamp. That will be the 3-day bootcamp. And today is the day one. Today we will start from the very basic. And I hope you are eager to learn. Like you are excited for the sessions. And also the timing will be from 6:30 to 8. So make sure that you join for the day 2 and day 3 as well. And if you have any queries, any doubts, you can ask us in the chat. The trainer will help you out. He will solve all your queries. The trainer for this bootcamp is Gaurav Dipsa. He will be taking this bootcamp and teaching you the SQL. Okay, I'm here just for explaining you all about the attendance procedure and how you will be getting your certificate. So for that just part, I'm here. Okay, and my name is Anam Khan. कब स्टार्ट होगी वर्कशॉप बस 5 minutes. I will take a 5 minutes to explain the attendance steps, and then I will then we will start with the session. Okay, so here I will share my screen first. I hope guys you all can see my screen. Yes or no? Can you give me a thumbs up in the chat, please, guys? 700 people, guys. Please make sure that you do hit the like button, and please put your feedback while leaving the session. And if you have any queries, then you can also put it here. Okay. Yes, visible. Okay. Thank you, guys. So first of all, I have sent the attendance link in the chat, so you guys don't spam. So guys, here in the description box you can find all the links, all the things here. For the first for the attendance thing, here you can see registration, attendance, coins. For everything we have one link, and when you click on this one link, it will redirect you to another page where you need to first enroll for the program. If you're a new user, you need to enroll, you need to log in, and then only the attendance toggle will get unlocked. And then scroll down the page. Here below the day one title, you can see mark attendance toggle. Click on it. A rating scale will appear from 1 to 10. You need to rate the session according to your feedback, like according to your experience, your how much you would like to rate it and everything. And so yeah, and here is the feedback option. Like if you have any feedback for us, if you want to suggest anything, or if you want any improvement, then you can put it here. We will surely work on it. And then click on this mark attendance. Okay, so when you mark your attendance, you can see here coming back to the top, you can see this progress bar. It will increase day by day as you mark your attendance. On day 1 it will be 33%, and by day 3 it will be 100%. And when it will be 100%, then just below this progress bar, you will be getting to see like generate certification option. So from there you can download your certificate. Okay, likewise same, you need to mark your day 2 and day 3. I hope this is clear to everyone, like the attendance thing, how to mark it. Okay. I think, guys, are you did you all get to know how to mark your attendance? Guys, please respond. I can see almost 800 people have joined. Please, guys, put some energy in the chat, put some heart, put some any of your favorite sticker from the chat, please, guys. Cleared? Yes. Okay. Thank you, guys. Again, coming back to this page itself, guys. But about the query that we get continuously about regarding the certificate thing, the certificate will be available on the day 3 when the session will end. Before that you won't be able to generate your certificate, so please don't spam in the chat for the certificate part. Make sure that you come back to the attendance page after 8 o'clock on day 3. Okay, and we have this communities, that is WhatsApp and Discord. If you have any queries, if you want to get regular updates, daily invites, session reminders, and all the links, you can just join our communities. There you can also connect with the Let's Upgrade team if you're stuck anywhere, or you can get help from your friends there. Okay, so you can join our communities there. And we have the student ambassador program, which is a 1 month free program. No fees, no cost, no charge, nothing you have to pay. Just you can just apply through this. Here you will be able to see the apply now button. You can just click on it and apply for the next batch, that is starting from the 1st of July. That is from tomorrow. We are starting with a new batch, and there you will be able to win this exciting prizes, that is iPad, gaming chair, smartwatch, many more things are there. Amazon coupons are there, hackathons are there, projects are there, exclusive workshops are there. And you also get there chance to win coupons by involving in the activities and everything. And yeah, many more things are there. You can just apply here by filling out the form, and the team will get back to you by today end of day or by tomorrow. Okay, yeah, so this was it about the SAP program. One major things, guys, one important thing, that is the all-in-one documentation. So you can check the link, you can get it from the YouTube description itself, and which is also pinned in the chat. So there's some mistake. Okay, okay guys. Okay, so there is some mistake that from the team. This link is wrong. We'll change it, but in this link you can find, but in this document you can find all the session links, enrollments link, and notes that we are going to curriculum outline which we are going to follow for the next 3 days. You can just refer it. I will change it right after the in the next 5 minutes, and you can just check it out to get to know like what are the topics we are going to cover in this 3 days. And also if search as any of the resource, any PPT link, any link, we will upload all the things in that all in one doc only. So you do not need to go here and there. Okay, and guys, do not spam in the chat for one thing only. Just have some patience, or else you can find the links from the description box. Okay. So now my part is done. I will call the trainer, that is Gaurav Dip sir. So yeah, here he is. Hi sir, good evening.
Hi Anam, good evening. How are you?
I'm good sir. How are you?
I'm doing good too.
So I think we can start with the session. There are almost 900 people join, and they are eager to start the learn the SQL. So without wasting time, I
Definitely.
will take the leave. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys,
Thank
for
you.
your time.
So yes, definitely I can see there's a huge audience coming in, around 800 live viewers watching in to learn about SQL, to learn about how a database works. That's interesting. And I can see your charts. I've been thoroughly browsing in there. So many of you are really excited. I can see the chat coming in. And people who could not get the attendance, do not worry, these sessions are recorded. You can always uh, recap the session, just go back and see how the attendance was made, right? So that's done. Good evening to all of you. I am seeing each and every person in the chat, so rest assured. uh, Okay, we have so many viewers who are putting in the chat. That's interesting because I like sessions to be interactive. I like sessions to be live, right? There's a very particular reason and a purpose to have live sessions is interaction, right? That's the only plus benefit than not viewing recorded sessions is that you are live, I am live, so we can have interaction. So that's the heart of this concept, which is to go live. So let me just quickly share up my screen for all of you. Yes, the all-in-one document for now contains 02 Python Hero, not SQL. That's an add-on for you. But the SQL content will be soon delivered. Do not worry. We will just fix that link for you where you will have the complete guide on the 3 days bootcamp. Okay. Yes. Good evening to all. Now, many of you were asking about different type of sessions that we should do. I would just like to quickly bring in that Let's Upgrade continuously has upcoming bootcamps aligned, right? You can see currently we are into the introduction of SQL. Then we will be doing setting up local large language models, which is generative AI, and much more coming in. We keep on doing things related to front end, back end. You can see React, Flutter, MongoDB, and so much, right? So the people who are asking in for the UI designing bootcamps, we have done bootcamps on Figma. In fact, there is an upcoming bootcamp, I think, on 17 July. You should follow this page. Seriously, I'm telling you, there are so many different technologies being explained on daily basis in the live sessions that are extremely useful, right? So for people who are interested to see what are the different tech stacks coming in, we do a lot into front end, back end, full stack, MERN, database, generative AI, large language models, and a lot, right? So whatever you wanted, we got it. So this is more about it. As we all know, the idea of this today's session is to get acquainted ourselves with the SQL database, how it's supposed to work, right? Yes. So, Sravant, yes, we do data analysis bootcamps also. Is it sufficient, sir? Only these bootcamps are enough? Well, the idea of any bootcamp, the idea of any diploma, a 1 year post graduation diploma, or a quick you can say crash course, is never about to be enough, right? That's never the agenda of boot camps or crash courses or a quick start guide, right? It is more like an way to enter the technology, right? For an example, suppose if a movie is of 3 hours and you do not have the capacity to absorb it 3 hours continuously, you can just simply watch a 15 minutes YouTube video to understand the gist of the movie, right? So the agenda of boot camps is more about that place that within a quick 90-minute session, or maybe few hundreds of minutes of sessions, you will be able to understand the technology throughout, right? Yes, it definitely gives you an edge, it gives you a boost that you are able to understand the technology we are discussing, but then you are self capable to learn it from there. That's the idea of the boot camp, right? With that being said, I think we are all clear. I have so many interested chats who are waiting for the session to start, right? So definitely, without further ado, we will first start off with understanding how we can install MySQL on a local machine, right? We will purposefully choose Windows because Mac and Ubuntu are exceptional people who are very rare in the audience. But for people who already using Mac and Ubuntu, they should be self-capable to install these things because Windows is more beginner friendly, right? People who are already in Ubuntu are a little bit into development, so that's where I will rest it. Now, how do you install MySQL on Windows? It's very simple, straightforward. We just simply need to search for MySQL install, or we can just simply search MySQL download. Okay, it will directly give you a search on MySQL downloads. This is the Google search. Okay. Sir, what if I'm starting from scratch? Do not worry. This idea of this bootcamp is that you're starting from scratch. Okay, this bootcamp is not designed for professionals, so or even intermediate people, right? Intermediate to professional people. This bootcamp is not for them, and our audience we expect to be freshers. Is MySQL sufficient, or should I go with PostgreSQL? MySQL is sufficient, I think. That's fine. Okay, so as soon as we go for mysql.com/downloads, here we are. Basically, we can just simply go to the download page, MySQL community downloads. Okay, and we can simply start off from here. We can download the MySQL workbench from here, right? Or MySQL installer for Windows. You can simply go here again. So this is the link where you should reach, which is like installing the MySQL server. MySQL 8 is the final series of this server, which will be using 8.0.42 for Windows. Do you want me to zoom my screen? Sure. Okay, I'll just zoom my screen. So MySQL community downloads, you can just simply search it, MySQL community download. Okay, just search it on Google. You will get this link, MySQL installer 8.0.42. You can just simply go to this page. From this page, you can simply go to MySQL installer for Windows, and from here you will end up on this page. Now again, from here you can use this 353 MB file or 350 MB of file to download the installer and run it through, right? So as soon as I click on it, now, for the people who will have a slower internet, will take some time, but people who are on faster internet can download it in some seconds. Now, I'll say no thanks, just download for me. So as soon as I click no thanks, just download for me, my download has started, and this is a 350 MB file, and you can simply download it on your local. Now, once you downloaded it, we can. I'm just waiting for the download to finish. So once it is done, I can just go to my downloads, and from my downloads, I can simply start this installer, right? MySQL installer community. So as soon as I click on the yes option, you can see the please wait for Windows to complete it. If I already installed PostgreSQL, is it okay? Yes, it's totally okay. Do not worry. In fact, part of the session that I'm taking, I'll be taking it on a browser only. Okay, is MySQL or Oracle SQL both are same? Well, yes. Basically, it's more like two different companies bringing in their software with little bit of difference, but they are completely same, right? I've used MS SQL, so can I use it? Yes, definitely. Is MySQL and Oracle both same? I've answered that. Sir, your wallpaper are very good. Thank you so much. Definitely waiting in for September 12, where this anime starts off its final season. So yes, with that we have MySQL. I can simply, for now, add or modify. Basically, the reason I'm getting this is somewhere in the past I've already installed this MySQL on my machine. So what we can do is I can click on modify, but you will have to click on install. So which is where I think we can. Okay, just a second. Which is where I think we can go back to this UI. So as soon as you click on this MySQL 8.035 or whatever version it is, it's completely fine. You clicked on it, you have downloaded this file. Okay, so from there, you can start off with this, right? So I think this is the UI for you that you will get for first installation. Yes. Now here you can simply click on this product. As you can see, I just need to select this product once. So similarly on this UI, you just need to click here, and once you click on it, okay, you can select the products that you want. Basically, go for everything. It's completely fine, no issues. Just simply click on execute, and once you've executed, this thing should get green tick on it, right? All right, cool. Now, with this being said, you will have some root password, and so this is important. You need to save it somewhere in any text file. That is fine, right? All right. So, time to just quickly go back and see some chats coming in. Okay. Can I write same queries in MySQL and Oracle SQL? Mostly, yes. Only few of the format changes here and there. Okay. Uh, okay. WAMP is for use. Yeah, you can use it, no issues for server level. Can you? Your explanation is insane. Can I write the same queries? I have used Postgre, so can I use it? Yes, yes. Cool. So two versions. Which one? 2.1 or 300M? 2.1 or 300M. Which versions are you referring to? If I go here, basically the version should. Okay, okay, I got it. The 2.1 or 300. Go for 350 MB download. That's fine. Got it. I got it. What you're asking. Will you teach us joins and window functions for optimizing? Yes, we will be doing joins and a lot more than joins. Okay. So the again, this is a good time to explain you what are your expectations here, right? So the expectations are today we will set up the at least one setup of MySQL on local. We will do it. We will understand how we can connect databases, how we can create databases, how we can create tables. What are these tables to begin with? What is relational database? Some of boring theory also we will be covering it. I know you don't like it, I don't like it, but part of the curriculum, and it is somewhere needed and essential. Trust me. I have been a kind of a student who wants to learn things in a very quick paced manner. Okay, if I see a YouTube video 43 minutes, 55 minutes, 1 hour, I don't even bother to watch it. I prefer a blog which I can just quickly cover up. या 15 minute 10 minute 5 minute की video के अंदर if you can explain me, this is the kind of impatience that I have when I have to learn something. So yes, I somewhere believe that you might feel a little bit boring to go with the theory, but trust me, I will not take more than 10-15 minutes to explain you and give you some basic insights what MySQL is all about and how it is different from a graph db or a NoSQL. You can see even from my communication I try to deliver things quickly, and then we will go hands on. So once we are on hands on, day 2 day 3 cannot go back to theory. Day 2 day 3 will also be on hands on only. So my idea will be to give you a lot of practice sessions, right? So the idea would be that maybe just quickly once explain you the rules of the game and then teach you to play it, and then I'll let you play throughout day 2 day 3 with more and more questions getting complex and complex, right? That's the idea. All right, so if you forget the password, maybe you can just simply simply reset the password. You can just simply follow through some tutorials. On Windows, I have never touched this part. On Ubuntu, it is pretty much easy to use the conf files. But yes, you can simply do a reinstallation, or you can simply follow up a short YouTube video. How do you reset your passwords if you forgot that, right? So, which is where I'm telling you that this part will be really important. Uh, you need to just save this password somewhere, or you can create a new user. Okay, so create user, and you can define the role. Okay, super user, you can create another super user. That will also work. So again, just a quick video that you'll have to go through, right? All right, so please repeat the installation part. Cool. All right, so for the installation part, you just simply need to search for MySQL community download. Google this, Google search, do it, and you will reach this page. You can go here, you can go for MySQL installer for Windows. Once you are here, you just need to download this 353 MB of file. You can download it on your local. Once you have it, uh, you just simply need to follow around that. Click on a file. For an example, if this is the UI, just click on it. On top of it, put a click. So once you click it, you will be able to select it, like right over here. Put a click on it, click it, and then select everything. And after putting next, the button will be able to execute. So for example, if I click on the part, okay, and then we can go next. And then the idea is to execute it. Once you finish the execution, for the first time, to deliver you a password, and you can save it somewhere, and that's it, you're done, right? So this is about setting up the server right over here, right? Okay, working on Oracle will be fine too. Yes, everything will be fine, no worries. Can I write MySQL queries in SQL? Yes, you can do that. Can we write in SQL plus? Write in SQL? Yes, yes, yes. All right. Can we write? All right, cool. I think I have. Yes, definitely. You can write it wherever you want. Okay. Uh, yes, we will be looking into it. Right. Again, Hemant. So SQL is a concept. For an example, समझ लो Android is operating system, but Samsung and maybe Motorola and maybe some other company, OnePlus or maybe whatever, right? These are producing those products, right? So MySQL is a product which delivers SQL to you. So SQL is a type of a database, whereas MySQL is a product that belongs to that type of database. Okay, so that's in short how we can do it. So how can we download on Mac? Basically, you can just simply search for SQL download for Mac. Okay, and let me just simply go to Mac and installing MySQL on Mac OS. You can simply for the list of Mac OS versions that's supportable, you can simply go here, or maybe you can use this uh, installing Mac or using Linux systems. Okay, so okay, let us go here. I think even Brew will work for you, but if not here, basically this is what you will have to do: download the DMG file. Okay, so you just need to find this DMG file. I can just simply just let me just try to see here. Okay, so here is a DMG file. You can change the operating system right from here to Mac OS, and on Mac OS you will find the DMG archive for Mac OS 15 and so on. Okay, if you're on ARM based processor, you can just simply select it, download it, and once you've downloaded it, you can go back. It is pretty simple. uh, you just need to, so DMG files are very straightforward. They're executable files. You just simply need to select what you want to do. MySQL server, select it and click on install. Once you have installed, use strong passwords, store the password somewhere, and you're done. So that's the tutorial for Linux also. MySQL for Linux is again straightforward, students. You just need to go to the platform where you will be able to find the installation file. Okay, let us go here, and from here you can select Ubuntu if you're on Ubuntu, and you can select the deb file. Again, deb files are executables. You can just run it, and that's it, right? All right, so well, if you have forgotten the password, there are ways to reset the user. Again, you can do it, or you can do it a fresh installation. Even that's fine, right? Go and download from I think yes. Let's go to programs. So we are all waiting for start teaching. Yes, cool. All right. So I think here The idea is clear. How do you set the installation? That is clear. Now again, if you need one IDE to work around with it, you can do workbench download MySQL. Okay, so again, MySQL has a product known as Workbench. So what is Workbench all about? All about, it's like a GUI. It's like a software. For Mac OS, Ubuntu, Windows, everything is available here. You can download this 43 MB installer. Let me just quickly download it. Just start my download. Now, as soon as I click on it, the Workbench has finished installations. I'll run it. I'll click on next. I'll install Workbench. I'll do a complete installation and install. Straightforward, people. No need to worry around here. What's happening, what's not. All right. So we are all ready. Yeah, definitely. So we have finished installing the SQL. We have on the point where we are installing Workbench. Just let us wait for it to install once. Cool. Now, once this Workbench is installed, this is where you will be able to do most of your SQL scripts and coding, right? All right. Now, let me finish and launch my Workbench. Cool. So you'll be able to see that on MySQL connections, we can basically connect to a new server over here. By default, local server will be installed, which you have installed. It will be available here. Okay. Through root access, you'll be able to run it, and once you log into it, you'll be able to see. So again, how does this ID look like? What are the components on this ID, right? So if you look on the left part, you will find we have schemas. So schemas, what are schemas? I'll talk about schemas soon. Okay, it's like your database, different databases. Okay, so we have world database, we have medical database for an example, or hotels database, right? So inside databases, there will be collections like tables. So for an example, this is the uh, Airbnb listing collections, which has ID, city, country, and so on, right? So this is about the left panel, what schemas are supposed to be. Again, I'll not be putting into chat so much that do not spam it. Students, I've already explained you what we're going to cover, right? For day 1, day 2, day 3. You can just rewind the video and check again, then repeating the questions, right? So with that being said, so we have hotels. This is the schema in the left. From the top, you can start up new query editors. So create a new SQL tab for executing queries. If you click on it, you will see that this is where you can this is where you write SQL queries. Okay, now, all right, my install is downloading server, shell, workbench, router, documentation, samples, and examples together. Is that an issue? No, not that's not an issue. You can just simply download it, right? Sir, send the install setup doc link in chat. Okay, if you want that, I'll just simply go around. Let me just quickly MySQL community download. I'll just give the installer to you in the chats. So I'll share this link with all of you. You will be able to get it. Nothing else? Schemas, maybe structure the table. Yes. All right. Definitely. Cool. So once this being said, this is where you will write SQL queries, and from here you see this thunder icon. You can run it to execute any part of your SQL query, right? Now, this is for the people who will be following offline. This is one way that you can use it for the people who already have different databases installed. Could be Oracle and anywhere. You can simply use it, right? Now, with that being said, let us look at for options for people who may be running online, right? So, MySQL online compiler. If we search for it, okay, and all right, cool. Let me search for some of the websites which do offer you databases also, right? Okay, maybe we can try this one. Let me see if it has any database along with it. No, not this one. Okay. So recently, with I'll say medical DB, because I think there are a few cool ones, editors which will definitely give you some database access. I'll just quickly try to browse one because I recently had one which I shared for one of my student. MySQL online editor. Let me check. I have it in on some of my history. Never mind. We will simply be running it on local if you want. That's also fine for now. Or you can follow up with any of the browser IDs. That's also fine. So, for example, I just showed you MySQL online compiler or editor. You can just simply search it. This is one of the ID that you can use. So right over here, you have the option to write your. You can create a table right over here, and then maybe you can just simply run it from here, right? So as soon as you click on run, this should be able to give you the output in the output section right over here, right? So this is about few of the online editors that you can try. There are many more than that. There is Programmers, there is My Compiler, okay, and so on. So this is cool if you have to run SQL online, okay. So yeah, so something like SQL.info. See, these people have employee DB, and using employee DB you can run around with it, right? So you can see how you can run queries right over here, and you can see how you get output right by running the queries over here, right? So with that being said, let us just quickly go back to our workbench. Yes. And with it also, let us quickly start up whiteboard. All right. Let me check if there are any of the comments that I'm missing in. So again, people, I think there are some issues that you're getting in to install. I'll just quickly walk you through that guide, okay? So for an example, if you download this file, you can simply follow this, right? Product configuration on the screen, you can select MySQL Server 8 option to configure MySQL and just simply click next. That's what you have to do. You can simply use a strong password, and it's more like a simply click and run functionality. Okay, so I think you just need to just quickly Google up that any of the installation guide. You can just simply follow it, and that should give you a better edge. Okay, so for example, maybe if I go for geeks, you will be able to follow through a GUI tutorial that they have given you right over here, right? For example, you can go to download. We just install this installer. Once you had it, you just need to select the requirements. Okay, you just need to select the products. So as you were able to select server, workbench, shell, router, just simply click on execute. Once it is done, you can simply click on next. On next, you can select the passwords, and you just simply need to select this part. And once you're done in the installation part, you just simply need to click on finish. You just follow this tutorial, and that's it, right? By using workbench, you should be able to get this local instance right over here. All right, so cool. Now with that being said, let us simply understand a little bit about relational databases, what they are all about, right? So any database is so first of all, if we talk about any database, it is used to store content, right? So when you have to store content, how is SQL helping you over here, right? So SQL is helping you store content in the format of tables. Okay, so SQLs के अंदर you will understand that there's a concept known as tables, which is more like a spreadsheet. We have worked with Excel sheets, we have worked with Google spreadsheets. They all contains rows and columns, right? So tables contains basically column, and they also contain rows, right? So once we talk about rows and columns, we'll simply have maybe a column name could be name. We could have coming in as gender. We could have anything else coming in as age and so on, right? So again, for data science perspective, these are features. From maybe database perspective, these are attributes. Okay, and rows are basically different objects. Okay, so maybe myself, Gaurav, could be an object. Okay, someone like Rohan, or uh, anyone like Navjeet or anyone else, or could be Priya. These all could be different objects, right? So each row will have its unique ID, like 11032, 11033. This is unique in itself. Like this is like a roll number. If we assign it to anyone in a classroom, our roll number is unique. Similarly, each object will map it with a unique ID, and they will have attributes like what is the name for 1102. It is Gaurav. Gender could be M, age could be 30. For Rohan, it could be again M, F. Okay, this could be different attributes we can give, and so on. Okay, so this is what a table looks like. It has a structure to it, which is why it is known as a structured database. Okay, a structured is what I stands for. So each table consists these attributes, okay, which are like the column names, and they are relationships. Now, what does relationship stands for, right? Like we talk about RDBMS, so relational database management systems, right? So when we talk about it, so relationship are that how can we map these people into different tables, okay, or these objects into different tables, okay. All right. uh, so it's showing choosing steps, what to choose for server or client or full. You can go for a full installation, Mayuresh. Okay. Now, with that being said, maybe we have another table which is like in any school there could be, or any organization there could be people who are a part of any community. Okay, say uh, there's any community by the name of X members. So this is their data, like how many people are member of this community. So we could have maybe coming in as phone numbers or email IDs right over here. So 112, 114, 116, 118. This could be phone numbers. So in the community, we could have again different rows. Okay, right over here. So maybe this is another table with rows and columns. So this could be maybe phone number right over here. Okay, then we could have name, and then we could have a role in the community. So maybe they are admin, maybe they are user, and thing like that. So whatever could be the feature. So phone number is 112, then there is 114 and 116. Again, name is Gaurav, name is Rohan, and name is Navjeet over here, right? So again, this is again a different table that we are talking about, right? And on this table, what we are planning here is how do we find relationships. So if you look at this column phone over here and this column phone over here, basically they both are related to each other, right? And the relation comes in the form of having a unique phone number, right? So obviously, there are certain columns in any table which could have properties to be unique or not. For an example, two different people could have same name, like there could be two Rohan in a same column. That's fine, but the idea is that their phone number should be different for us, okay? And even in any case, that is same also. At least one of the column should be unique, like an identifier, right? So how do you identify an object? So for an example, there could be 10 different Gauravs in a particular area. but how do you justify which one is unique? So that is the property that SQL follows, that there should be at least one of the column which is unique, and through it there is at least one column which has relationship which is being maintained in another tables, right? So this is the idea of how the SQL is supposed to create different tables and store data. Okay, so again, we'll just quickly wrap it that SQL is a relational database. It has structured data, and how to store it? It uses tables, which is rows and columns, and then the relationships, right? So in order to have relationships, if you talk about any table, so for example, if you're talking about table number one right over here, so it will have a key which is mapping to another table. It is known as primary key. So what is the concept of primary key? So primary key has to be unique, plus it has to have some relationship with other tables in this database, right? That's the idea of it. And wherever it maps, so maybe here we have something known as a foreign key. Okay, so foreign key is nothing but a primary key of another table. Now again, here it maps the same concept, that is, uh, it has same data, so through which we will be able to relocate and have a relationship between these two tables. Okay, so that's the idea about it, how we are using it. Okay, so, with that being said, now again, that's the idea of how these things work. Now, again, what's the difference between MySQL and Oracle SQL? Someone is asking. So, well, again, MySQL and Oracle SQL are two different companies that serve different purpose, right? Like one is developed and maintained by Oracle company, and the other is developed by Microsoft. Okay, so again, the difference lies in their pricing, like how are they selling their product. So what is the difference between a Samsung Android ka phone and OnePlus ka Android ka phone? That's where you can understand what is the difference between MySQL and Oracle SQL. Different companies pitching in SQL ka software. Okay, so backbone kya hai? Try to understand one fair idea, students, that SQL is a concept. SQL अपने आप में एक database का idea है, and MySQL or Oracle or the other Postgre or these things that you're mentioning in the chat, these are different products. Okay, so for an example, Python is a programming language, but if you do it in VS Code, or if you do it in PyCharm, or if you do it somewhere else, that's a different thing, right? You're using different extension, different IDs to do it. Uh, Again, in case of Python, well, the format doesn't change, but in case of Oracle or MySQL, maybe here and there a little bit of format might be different, but 99.99% they're still the same. If you just learn one of it, more than enough. You need not worry about learning Oracle and then learning MySQL. They're not different. They are all talking about SQL only. So the idea is that you just need to learn what SQL is. That's the agenda. Okay, so I think this was a repeated question and I have answered it in a fair way now. Sir, can you repeat the difference? Yes, I'll repeat primary foreign key. Uh, yes, SQL is a query language and MySQL Oracle are tools that provide platform. Perfect, Krishna. That's definitely the one. Now, again, can you explain the concept of primary foreign once again? Yes, definitely. I'll just quickly move it on to you, right? So first of all, primary key क्या होती है? So primary key, if we talk about it, so primary key is like a unique identifier. So what is a unique identifier? In your example, you can take something like Aadhaar card, right? We all know what Aadhaar card does. Aadhaar card is unique in a way that the number represents you in the real world. So unique identifiers like Aadhaar is an example, patient ka ID is an example, your email ID is an example. Okay, your phone number is an example. These are things which are unique to yourself. Okay, so primary and foreign, basically they both are unique identifiers. Only thing is how do you refer it. Okay, so current table, if any table with respect to which you are working, current table. So with respect to current table, if you are working whatever table it is, say table 1. Okay, say table 1, it has one column, say column x. Okay, which is like unique identifier. ये column x क्या है? ये unique identifier है. So for the current table which I am, I'll call it primary key. Okay, and any other tables which are there, like maybe a table 2 or table 3, where this primary key is helping me map. So वहाँ के column, maybe in the column Y it is mapping, maybe in column M it is mapping. So column M with respect to my current table will be called as a foreign key, okay, and column Y with respect to my current table will be called as foreign key. Again, they are unique identifiers, same thing है उनके अंदर फोन नंबर ही, मे बी ईमेल आईडी है इसके अंदर, मे बी यहाँ पे भी ईमेल आईडी है, मे बी यहाँ पे भी ईमेल आईडी है, but the idea is a primary key that is from another table. So मैं जिस table, with which table I'm referring to the relation, so the other tables column I'll call it as foreign column, okay. So that's the idea of it, the connection which is happening. So from where I'm sitting, from where I'm observing, from for that table it is primary, and where I'm looking at for that table it is foreign, but the data is same, the columns are same, and they are building a relation. That's the idea of it, right? So, well, that's the design of it. Now, again, I told you I'll come back to schema a little later. So this is what the schema is. So for example, suppose if I have three tables, table 1, table 2, table 3, and I have a relationship between them, maybe relation 2, relation 1, which are mapping them all together. Maybe there could be a relation 3, or maybe not. But however is your hierarchy, however is your relationships of the tables, but this complete entire environment is known as a schema. So it's like a blueprint for the data. It's like your complete database. एक database के अंदर tables होंगे and tables would be related. So this complete database is known as a schema. So schema is the entire structure of your database, which can explain how tables are connected to each other. Okay. So maybe we can simply try to take up an example. I'll quickly bring in. So patients DB schema. Okay. We'll simply go for images. So in real world, this is how different tables can be connected and can be so complex to work into, right? So remember, each of this blue box is a table. Well, Varun, you can just rewind and check what I explained foreign key, because we cannot stick so much on a single concept, right? Maybe you can see this in YouTube after class. Yes, correct. All right. So for an example, there is a table, say by the name of room. Okay, I'll just simply copy this image, bring it down here. So maybe there is a table, say by the name of rooms. Again, if you see, basically room has a connection with block. Okay. So here, if we see, for an example, you see how block code right over here is mapping up right over here to this block table in the block code. Okay, so for example, if I'm looking at the room, so maybe here block code is my primary key, and here block code is my foreign key. Okay, how do I build that relationship? Again, for maybe if I have a room number right over here, okay, and it's block code, how can I find the block floor? So by using this data, I can map block and find that answer. Okay, so this is the way we use relationships to find different answers. So for an example, if you have to track an order, so suppose if you have to track an order, I have user ka table. Okay, in the user table, I have your personal details like your name, your email ID, okay, your all the things, and maybe something that you ordered. Okay, order ID. So maybe 112 is something that you ordered. Okay, a description could be maybe you just ordered some shoes from Mintra. Okay, so maybe you ordered shoes. This could be category and so on. Then we have a table by the name of shipping details. Okay, shipping details. So here we have a provider. Maybe we have FedEx as the provider. Maybe we have some another provider like delivery is another provider, and so on, right? And then there are order IDs. Okay, then maybe we have whatnot, like maybe a FedEx ka table hai, FedEx table for updates, like where there is order ID and there is current uh, maybe current godown location, which could be in say Gurugram, headquarter and so on. So suppose for any smart system, for an example, user is asking, this is the user, it is asking where is my order. So in order for the chatbot, okay, in order for the chatbot to answer this question and get back to the user, the chatbot will, of course, since it is coming from user, the chatbot will know the user's email id. Okay, so it will use the first step right over here, something like this will step number one, retrieve your orders. Okay, it will ask you what order are you talking about, maybe your shoes or something like that. It will obtain order id from here, and then it will go to the shipping providers. Maybe it will map the order id right over here, that okay, this is the second query it will run. It will see, okay, we are talking about FedEx. It will go to the FedEx table. Over here, it will map the order ID. Again, it will fetch the location, which is currently in Gurgaon, and it will go back to you with the answer. Okay, so this was the third query, and this is the fourth step to get back to you that your order is right over here and here. Okay. Yes. So that's the idea of how an relational database works and functions for any company to begin with, right? So few of the ideas are that SQL follows the ACID compliance, which is like atomic consistency, isolation, and durability, which means that no duplicacy will happen, no two records will be same, no data will be lost. The data will be consistent. So consistent से क्या मतलब है कि for an example, that if I have designed a schema, right? For any table, I have a schema like there should be order ID, then there should be current location, okay, and so on. Maybe just this is the schema. So there will be no single entry which will come without order ID or without current location. These two features have to be there, okay, and you can retrace it everywhere. So which is why it is very important as a developer to understand which database do you want to use for this project. Maybe if you want flexibility in your schema, you will go for NoSQL, but if you want rigidity, you will go for maybe SQL. It also depends upon how do you want to scale it, because SQL databases, they are not good at the horizontal scaling. Okay, we will talk about it, we can talk about it. These are few limitations that SQL brings in. Okay, so it is less suited for unstructured data and less suited for projects which require some less flexibility, not rigidity in their schema. So there are three different type of databases that, as a developer, you can be aware of. And as you're growing to the age of AI, I think it is a good idea that you should also start looking into graph databases. Okay, because graph are getting very popular with AI agents. And again, NoSQL is much popular with computer vision applications, with audio. So things like audio, speech, again, audio cover speech, photos, images, audios, JSON complex data, and so on, right? Everything will come over here. But SQL is again the king for maybe rigidity and structured data. So for an example, if you're working for a shipment company, tracking company, hospitals, banks, so definitely, undoubtedly, banks हो गए, hospitals हो गए, management companies या managerial data हो गया, they are still the best with SQL. uh, nothing that SQL can does वो NoSQL नहीं कर पाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. NoSQL वो सारे काम कर लेगा SQL करता है, but again NoSQL is more preferred where you do not want rigidity. Where you want to maintain the structure, SQL is the choice. SQL is the choice where you do not want to maintain it. So इनका data model अगर आप compare करोगे, and again graph क्या है, graph node and edges पे चलता है. Like for example, there is this user 1 right over here, so this is known as one node. There is user 2, this is known as another node, so maybe this is node 1, maybe this is node 2. And how they are connected, so they are connected by edges. ये joints जो होते हैं हम इनको edges बोलते हैं. And maybe they are connected with the relationship that they both share a same gym. So gym name इनका same है, तो there's a relation with respect to that. Okay. Now, with that being said, let us look at the data model. Again, I told you SQL के अंदर tables होते हैं, whereas NoSQL के अंदर hash data type होता है, JSON होता है, like documents होते हैं. They store it in the terms of documents, which are like key and value pair. So people coming in from Python dictionaries होती हैं ये, ठीक है. So with that being said, graphs again, their model is all into nodes and edges. So हर नोड की ना प्रॉपर्टीज भी होती हैं, लाइक यूजर वन की भी कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज होंगी, लाइक नेम, एज, जेंडर, company where they work, and so on, right? So this is how these three different databases come into picture. यहाँ पर schema के बारे में if I talk about, so if I talk about schema, so again it is predefined, right? So at least if you are following up with this theory, this should be clear that yes, schema is predefined. यहाँ पर schema dynamic होती है. See, this is what I'm telling you is the magic of NoSQL. It is useful जब आपकी schema defined नहीं है. कल चल के अगर आपको एक रो ऐसा append करना है जिसके अंदर apart from order ID, current location, there is some new column also. So without breaking the structure, you can add new row. Okay, so maybe you have uploaded 100 rows which have this, and 101th row only has this new column also. It is fine, all goes over there, right? So with that being said, again schema wise, graph dbs are also very flexible because they only focus on relationships, how edges connect to different nodes. Okay. So scalability, again, it is very much possible to scale NoSQL and graph horizontal, okay, whereas SQL only works vertically. So again, what is the difference between a vertical scaling and a horizontal scaling is that, suppose if I have a computer with me, okay, if I have a computer with me, uh, so what I can do is, it has certain type of RAM, certain type of CPU. Uh, if I increase the RAM, suppose if I increase RAM, okay, if I increase the CPU, if I increase the RAM, if I increase the components, then I'm doing vertical scaling. But what if I tomorrow bring in tomorrow one more computer, then one more computer, okay, and then distributing tasks, then I'm doing horizontal scaling, okay. All right. So this is the idea, the vertical and horizontal in CPUs and GPUs. This is there. So Explobyte is asking which database is best. Again, this cannot be answered directly. Each comes with its own power. Each comes with its own purpose and place to fit in. So the database where it fits depends on the use case what you are solving. But I'll say overall, NoSQL is a good all-rounder. But knowing SQL is good because many of the giants and tech companies still will be relying on SQL, and SQL is going nowhere. Like, there is not a possibility that one day NoSQL will replace SQL. It's not like that. But yes, all three are equally important with their area of expertise, right? So maybe I'll answer to you when to choose SQL and when to choose this, right? So suppose if you're building a financial application, a banking system, or you're building something like an e-commerce platform, orders आते हैं, product आते हैं, maybe your data is structured and integrity top priority है. Okay, like for an example, hospital के अंदर integrity is top priority. So simply SQL is the choice. When you are working with, I give you examples like photo, audio, maybe some social media data, some like comment posts, you are trying to analyze them, you can go with NoSQL. You are collecting data from different IoTs, go with NoSQL. Graph is a choice when you're trying to map some real world data. For example, fraud detection, you're trying to find it, you're trying to map social network, how people work with each other. So which is where graph is needed, right? Sir, all are requesting to teach in English, but I'm a little confused here. I'm not sure what language I'm using if this is not English. So apart from it, now if we move ahead, we'll realize that this is the core context. This is all about what SQL is all in all, right? So the people who are saying English only, do not worry, I'm not losing a single part. जो भी मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, it is not that it is unique, or it is maybe a primary component that I'm skipping in, right? It is just a repetition for the people who like a little bit of Hindi in between, right? So trust me, I can speak English on and on. Like I can give discussions, debates, and I can do presentations for international audience. In fact, I work for majority of the clients who are American and Israeli in the base. So for me, language is not a barrier, but to be a good communicator, it becomes necessary that I bring in a little bit of regional importance to the people who are looking in, because there are comments who also partially want Hindi, right? So let's serve everyone and do not waste time on the debate Hindi versus English. Yes. So with this being said, let us move ahead and try to understand basic syntax kya hai SQL ka. And this is where your hands-on will now start, right? So this is much more important. Again, remember, we will uh, I'll not. I'll just quickly repeat horizontal, vertical if you're asking it, okay? Because you can just recap. So the idea is vertical scaling means you will keep on upgrading a single component. It comes with a bottleneck also. Trust me. I'll give you an example. Suppose I start up with a computer which has 8 GB RAM, i5 processor. Now my requirement has increased. My data is growing. How do I do it? Maybe I'll just boost in with more. I'll just simply replace it with 16 GB RAM. I'll just go ahead replace it with 32, 64. But there's a bottleneck. Maybe I'll have to now upgrade my i5. I'll go for i7, and maybe then I'll have to upgrade my motherboard completely, because then the motherboard has a limitation to connect sockets, how much GB of RAM I can have. Maybe I'll go for the max out. I can go for 256 GB RAM, 512 GB RAM, and maybe i9 processor. But there's a bottleneck. Apart from it, if you have to go beyond, then you'll have to add one more computer, which is not possible, because I'll give you some relatable examples. Suppose if I have to, because SQL का principle क्या है? It is integrity. It has to maintain integrity. So for example, then it's not on paper practically ऐसा नहीं कि you cannot do horizontal scaling on SQL. You can, but integrity and the problem that it follows this condition that everything has to be integrated throughout. For example, like एक patient का कुछ there is some update about some patient's case, okay? So I'll have to make sure that it is happening in real time on both the different computers to maintain the integrity, right? Because that's how SQL works. So vertical scaling is a challenge. Sorry, the horizontal scaling is a challenge for SQL, and vertical is possible with its own bottleneck. ये एक limitation है SQL का. Okay. All right. Now, yes. All right, cool. I think, are there any more questions, sir? Do you provide placements or internships? Rarely, yes, I do provide them for my own companies which I work for. So maybe for AI/ML domain only. Yes, that's where my expertise is. All right, cool. Now, moving ahead, let's talk about hands-on now. Okay, so SQL has different commands which are very straightforward. It is just like speaking or talking or writing English and reading it, right? So there are certain reserved keywords which you have to follow. So SQL, how what is the meaning of it? Is a structured a query language. Okay, so it is like a language that we are learning. See how we learn a programming language, like we learn Python, we learn Java, we learn Mern, right? Maybe like Node.js, React. So we learn these languages to communicate. Similarly, a SQL अपने आप में is a language. So structured query language means it represents table wala format. Okay, so tables is a concept. See, database with tables and schema is a concept. Okay, and based on these concepts we have different products, like we have Oracle ka SQL, we have MySQL coming in from Microsoft and so on, right? We have Postgre. Okay, so PostgreSQL, these are products, and these products, they are built on top of a programming language or a query language known as SQL. So SQL kya hai? SQL is a query language. Okay, sir, which is good for data analyst? I think SQL is good for a data analyst. SQL and MySQL, SQL and NoSQL both are good for data analyst. Okay, how does NoSQL store data without tables? In key value pairs, right over here. I explained you, right? Documents. It stores in documents, key value pairs. Something like Python ka dictionary. All right. Now, with that being said, all right. Now let us talk about few basic reserved keywords which SQL has. So this is what you will type in with your hands on the keyboard into a real session. Something known as select. Okay, something known as update. Something known as delete. So these are essentially known as the curved operations, right? So create, read, update, delete, right? So select is used to read, update is used to update, delete is used to delete data from database, right? So that's the idea of select, update, delete. Then there could be create ke liye there is insert into, right? So insert into. So this is the command which is used to do your code. So remember, people who are familiar with the concept of create, uh, update, read and delete. So this is your curd. Okay, curd एक principle होता है any database के अंदर which gives you a feature to create something. Like for example, Facebook has its own database. So I have to create a new user. So create new user command will be used. Suppose a user has to update its profile picture. So which is where the update will come into picture. Suppose I have to see some of the photos that I have uploaded. So read feature will come into picture. Suppose I have to delete some of the pictures, delete my account, delete my profile photo, whatever. So delete is the functionality which will come into picture. That's all code all about, right? Yes. All right. Any more questions that we are missing in? Well, not exactly. All right. So yes, we will be talking about the DDL and the DML. So DDL talks about a data definition language, which is where you can alter, create, drop, or truncate tables. Data manipulation is where your data analysts will come into picture. They will run different aggregation queries, select, from, where, join. So the idea of your complete bootcamp, uh, Dattadeep, Dattadeep is asking that, right? Uh, no, I think Devargya. So Devargya, the idea is that in this bootcamp we will be doing DDL and DML both. Okay, and yes, documentation link. Yeah, I agree that is wrong. The team will be fixing it. They'll be providing a new documentation with all the notes. Do not worry, you will get it all together, right? Now, again, this was a little bit about your theory part. So remember, students, I just wanted to warm up with these commands because we will be using them now. And apart from it, SQL has some common data types that we can. There's no harm in understanding few of the data types. I'll not waste time. For example, int is which will store integers, which are like your whole numbers, right? Again, varchar, varchar. One more interesting thing about SQL is you not necessarily write these things in capital letters. SQL will work even in lower caps. With n over here, say, do you want to create names? So you want to create a column, okay? Maybe there's a column by the name of name, but then you want to specify that name could have maximum of 20 characters into it. Maybe like my name is pretty big. It's GAURAV DEEP. This is complete name, Gaurav Deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 characters to make single name. So I think 20 is a safe limit where anyone's name can come into picture. So if you have to specify schema now, when we design a table schema, we have to explain what type of data is that column going to store. So suppose if I'm creating a column by the name of name, then I have to specify that it is varchar. In the bracket, I have to specify how much character can store. So again, if it is a single character, fixed length string banani hai, so this is where char will come into picture, right? It's used to store strings. Okay, so these are variable length strings. So what is the difference between varchar and char? So if I'm specifying char as 10, for example, if I'm creating a mobile number, so mobile number is a column that I'm creating. Obviously, at least for India, it has to be 10 digits. So I'll specify 10 over here, but the data type will be char. So this will be like full proofing. Okay, 9 or 11 accept nahi karega. Whereas name could be varchar. Okay, क्योंकि this string could have a variable length. Maybe किसी का नाम 5 character का हो, like किसी का नाम Tim हो तो 3 character, किसी का नाम Gaurav Deep हो तो 10 characters. So something like that. Okay. So with this being said, there are different data types जो अभी भी हो सकते हैं, और जैसे डेसिमल हो सकता है इंटीजर की जगह पे, there could be date, okay, and so on. So is there any doubt what select does, what update does, and what are these things all about? If not, then I'll just quickly repeat whatever I've taught you, whatever I've covered in this theory part, I will be dropping it in notes also. So on the end of day 3, I'll give you a compilation of all the notes. Theory, how to create databases, how to truncate them, some hands-on queries I'll give you, and we will be practicing those. Okay. So yes, with that being said, I think that's the idea of uh, a little bit of theory that we were supposed to cover. Now, anyone has any doubts, you can just ring in for now. Okay, just let me start up one of the Chrome browser. Okay, all right. Now, let me read through any of the doubts if there are. Sir, we can do join operation, triggered and log protocol. Uh, okay. No, TCL will not be covered. Okay. Can we do join operation? Yes, we will be doing some of them. Yes, definitely we'll be doing them. Which types to use integer? Integer can be used for mobile numbers, and integers could be used for age. Age could be an integer, right? So there are the different examples that where you can use integers. Okay. What are joins? Yes, we will be covering them. Definitely I'll cover joins for you separately. Okay. So now let us quickly move on and do some of the hands-on sessions. Okay, so SQL practice .com. If I try to search it, okay, let me just try to find the link for it. SQL practice.com. Yes. So this is a good website where you can practice SQL. Okay, I'll just simply also type it out for you in the chat. SQL hyphen uh, practice.com. Okay, sir, I'm very beginner for this. Can I learn it? Yes, of course. Which is the best data analysis? How best data analysis or digital marketing? How many time it will take today, and what is the meaning? So we are almost there, just 15 minutes here and there, and we are almost done with the session. We will just start off with few of the basic coding that we should understand over here, right? Okay. SQL and MySQL are okay. Yes. Again, are there any questions? Okay. Then we'll start coding right now. All right. So once we are here, let me remove the digital pad now. I think we are done with it. Let us just simply switch to Python programming for now. We understand few of the basic things. Now let me explain you certain use cases. So we will start off with use cases only. See, my idea for the complete bootcamp is that theory is done, introduction is done, installation is done. इसमें से कुछ भी नहीं समझा, recap, learn, do it on your own. Okay, you can try to install Workbench, and I'll give you best output, a best alternative basically. If you are facing difficulty, just go to sqlpractice.com. We will be referring to the hospital.db, right? So even if you go to hospital.db and select it, okay, we will start off with some basic questions. Maybe suppose your organization for you work for, you are a database manager, your colleague or your seniors are telling you that show me the first name, last name, and gender of patients. Okay, where gender is equals to male. Okay, maybe they want this from you. So first of all, what I've done over here is this is a SQL editor, right? So if you go to Workbench also, if you are following Workbench, so this is where you write SQL queries. I've mentioned this, right? You will see there is a cross in front of it. If I run it, there's an error in the bottom. You will see that this is where you write SQL queries, error 1064. you have an error in your SQL syntax, because again, this is a query language. It's like a programming language, and it has to follow syntax. So whatever you're writing, which is like a comment to you, it should go in slash exclamation and exclamation slash to cover it. Now when you run it, basically this should work as a comment to you. Okay. So with this being said, this is how you write comments, and I've given you one simple question on how you can run it. So all right, let me close this settings for you. SQL databases view schema. So before we even start coding, the idea is look at the schema of this database that we are using right over here, right? Uh, all right. So which website are you working on? I give you the link right over here. It is sql-practice.com. Okay. All right. All right. So with this being said, let us quickly look at the schema. So there are four different tables in this schema. One is patients, the other is doctors, the other is admissions, and the fourth one is province name. And you can see from the connections how they're interlinked to each other. See, patients is connected to admissions, and patients is connected to province name. And how does it connect? So patient ID matches in admission, and province ID matches in province table. Okay, so this is the idea of it. And admission has attending doctor ID, from where you can find the doctor. So if at all I have to find for this particular patient which doctor is attending them, I'll have to do two different joins, which is like a patient I'll have to join on the basis of admission, and admission I'll have to join on the basis of doctors. Then I'll be able to answer this query out, right? So just absorb this schema, students. Patients has first name, last name, gender, birth, city, allergies, height, weight. These are like different uh, attributes of this table or columns in this table. Then we have admissions and so on. Okay, so let us just quickly go back to that part. I'll just simply do this. Okay, now first of all, how do we ensure that we are using the correct databases? So there's a command known as use, where you can put in the database name. Okay, and in SQL query, everything finishes with the colon. Okay, so with this being said, uh, we will mention use hospital DB. Okay, so again, for now we don't need to mention it over here because this is deliberately using it. But if you were using workbench, you will have to mention over here. Okay, something like use hotels. Okay, so then it will use this hotels database. Or if I want to use medical DB, I'll say use medical DB. Then I can write commands for the tables in that database. But on this ID, don't need to do it. Okay. So how do we write it, right? So first of all, this query is related to show first name, last name, which means we have to do a read operation. Okay. It has nothing to do with add a new patient or delete a patient. It is telling you show. So show works with select. Okay, so I'll have to select what exactly is it that I have to select. So I have to select the first name, I have to select the last name, what else was asked, and gender. Okay, and gender. So remember, whenever we write this query language, in select we write all the column names that we want. Okay, so what if we want all the column names all together? So the idea is you can simply use an asterisk. When we use asterisk, it tells to use all the columns. But for now, we need only these three, right? And from which table do you want to do it? So which is where from command comes into picture. From which table? Obviously, from the table name is patients. Okay. So on the left, you can see patients, admission, doctor, province name. These table names are visible to us. So we will select from patients. Okay, and how do we upload data or schemas to Workbench? Is it possible to add Excel sheets? Well, you'll have to simply. The best thing is, if you have an Excel sheet, give it to Google Gemini and tell it to convert it into a script, which will help you upload all the row columns into Workbench. It will create a simple script. You just need to use a simple script. In tomorrow's session, I will explain you how you can create databases from scratch, how you can append things into databases. That is what I will explain you in tomorrow's session for sure. First thing over there, right? So for now, coming back, select के अंदर आपने you selected the column names, from you selected the table name. Okay, so remember these are column names and table names we are referring to. Okay, from patients there's a condition. So where is used to put that condition? What is the condition? Where gender is equals to. But for that, let me look into gender. Gender is CHAR1. Okay, for the people who are following up with this session, uh, you will understand CHR stands for a data type which is fixed string length. It can either be M or it can be F. This is what CHR1 would mean. So I'll have to mention M over here. Okay, so if I run this query, if I run it, you will realize that in the output, I'm able to get all the patients. There are many of them, 2,486 results, whose genders are M. What if I switch it to female and run it again? You'll realize I'm able to get all of them. And what if I completely remove the from clause? You'll realize I have total of 4,533 results coming into picture, right? All right. How can we use the workbench? Well, workbench will be useful. Maybe in your workbench, I think world is a common database which is available to all. Let us see in world there is city. Okay. So let us try to create an example over here, right? So select name. Okay. Maybe we can go for select name, comma district. Okay, from, but for first I'll have to tell use world. Okay, and here I'll have to say select name and district from the table name is city uh, where population is greater than maybe I'll say 60,000, and so on. Okay, so this is how you can run queries in workbench right over here. Okay, and coming back to the id where I was doing it, right? Okay, and this is the only difference with the id, that here your tables are in the left which are given. Can you please tell again how to connect the tables db in workbench? It is not showing in my laptops. Well, first thing, workbench for now does not have the hospital DB in it, which is why I came to SQLpractice.com. I'll be helping you create hospital DB tomorrow. I'll help you create a database. I'll help you put data into it and then run through it. Okay. So for now, it doesn't have it. Okay. Yes. So that's the idea for people who are asking कि workbench के अंदर मैं medical DB या patient DB कैसे run करूं. It is not available. This is available on SQLpractice.com. So the reason why I also want to add in browser-based query languages, because many of the students I've realized sometimes they do not log in from laptops. They sometimes take lessons from mobile or tablets. Okay, so I want them to be computer free. If you just have a browser, you can learn SQL even from your phone if you want. Okay, so this is the idea for it. For the people who are more dedicated to using Workbench, I'll help you create a database tomorrow. Okay, so did you create SQL database in that link? No, I did not create it. Okay, so if I go to www.sqlpractice.com, for me, this is the website that comes with two different databases uploaded. One is Northwind, which has this type of schema. One is Hospital DB, which has this type of schema, right? Yes, XSM can be also used to add databases. Definitely, you can use that, right? How you created the SQL database in that link? Okay, I think that's the answer. So, any more further queries that are left down? Okay, that's a deep. I'll give you the hospital DB. Okay, I'll give you in tomorrow session. Before you join in at 6:30, you will have that. Let the team fix in the link in the all-in-one documents. If they're all corrected, I'll upload the link from where you can download this database. Okay, I'll have it somewhere in my Google Drive. Okay, and any other query that we are missing in? No, not for now. So let us just quickly set the premise for tomorrow. The premise for tomorrow is we're done with the theory, we're done with the setup. We have understood the basic syntax to write queries, how to put in comments, how to write in query, what is select, from, where, clause all about. Okay, and how to do basic of the queries. So tomorrow we will be learning some easy queries, then some medium queries, and then some hard queries, and then we will switch to join and some more complex structures of SQL, right? All right, that's all for now, sir. And in SQL shell, how do I add database? I'll also help you add the database through a script only. Do not worry, people who are using shell. I'll give you a script which you can run, and the DB will be created. Okay. All right. How can I learn SQL coding? Well, one good way is to go for places like HackerRank. So, for an example, SQL practice HackerRank is a good website. Apart from it, lead code is there. Okay, then you can go for lead code, and right over here, free SQL questions are available on lead code, where you can, well, there are so many of them to begin with. And HackerRank is more granular, like you can select basic queries first, solutions with our solutions only if you want that, and easy level and so on, and then you can start solving these challenges, right? Yes, uh, you can choose any of it, however you, wherever you want it, right? All right, so anything else, students, that you want to ask? Yeah, W3S, Geeks for Geeks, all are good enough. Don't worry. They will explain basic of the theory, but I think basic of the theory is what we have discussed here. That is more than enough to start you off. You can simply start off with some basic queries. Start learning hands-on. That's the idea. All right. So all clear. It was fun. Cool. So I think that's all for now. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye. Tata. Sayonara.